Disappointing pot. That's honestly one of the best things I've made camping ever. Stupidly, I didn't bring a plate because I thought I was going to backpack all this in originally, but I just got a later start than I wanted to, and I figured I haven't used the truck cap since I went to Idaho, actually. No, tell a lie, Maine. When I went to Maine. But man, this is so good. Venison tenderloin, onions in the middle, wrapped in bacon, grilled, then stewed for a while, braised. Braised? Do you call it braised? I don't know. Put it in the pot for like 2 hours. I wanted it a little spicy, so I put in 1 packet of beef stew and 1 packet of chili mix, actually, and it came out great.
Well, good night. As far as morning television goes, I'd say that was pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Well, that was a failure. That was my first time trying to make bread, and I think I just made a undercooked biscuit, but oh well, you don't know unless you try, right? So on that note, I think it's probably time to end, and as always, take it easy, and I'll see you on the next one. A couple people asked me about my knives on the last trip, why I decided to bring the ones I did, or why I decided to bring so many. First of all, why I went back to my Benchmade Bushcrafter from my Adventure Swan. Simple reason is my Adventure Swan got wet after my main trip when I capsized my boat. Everything got wet, and I was so concerned with like my tent and everything else, and obviously my camera that got damaged. I didn't even think about my knife, but of course, because it's carbon steel, when I went to get it out for my first trip back, it's completely rusted and shot to bits. The thing I love about the Benchmade, because it's S30V stainless, it doesn't rust ever. So if you're a beginner and you don't know too much about knives or maintaining them, like I was when I bought this knife, I would 100% say this is the best knife to buy. Not only because the blade won't rust on you, it doesn't take as much maintenance, but also because Benchmade have the Life Sharp, which basically means you can send it back to Benchmade and they'll sharpen it to you for free and send it back to you. So Benchmade Bushcrafter, my go-to. But to be honest, I'm probably not going to carry carbon steel knives anymore. I like bringing my Hooligan's Forge for the cooking. I think it's a cool cooking knife, you know what I mean? It's perfect as like a chopper. The old chop daddy, as we like to call it. But as you can see in one night, it didn't look that like this yesterday, I promise you. I mean, it didn't look great, but it didn't have all this rust on it. But that's what happens in one night. So, you know, for me, if you're like me, when you go camping, like I've got a couple-hour drive when I go home. Then when I get home, I got to take all this stuff out. I got to hang it up, make sure it's dry. I got to wash it. I got to put it away. The last thing on my list is take my knives out, try and get all the rust off them, oil them down, sharpen them before I put them away. Like honestly, I just want my knife to just work. Does that make sense? I just want my knife to be my knife. I also don't want to take it on a week-long trip in the fall or the winter when it's raining and it's snowing and in 2 days it looks like a rusted piece of, and I don't want to have to carry some oil with me just so I can like oil down my knife after every use. It just doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to the Benchmade. I'm gonna carry the stainless. It does the job. Just want to show you quickly the beauty of that little fire pit. Look, there's no mess afterwards. I mean, that's where it was. Hasn't charred the ground, hasn't done anything, so absolutely zero trace that it was ever there.